Hey, what's up guys? What's going on with everybody tonight? Hope everyone's having a great day so far. This is your boy G here. Welcome back. Got a Polestar video update for you guys. Now we are down almost 7% for the day. Honestly, not too surprised. We did talk about some of the price action in yesterday's live stream, so definitely check that video out because we did do some risk pros and cons on the stock itself. So I think it's very beneficial to watch through that. But if you guys want to help me out, please support the channel by hitting the like, subscribe to the channel. If you guys haven't subscribed, I think like 75% of you guys are not subscribed to the videos, but that would help me out a lot. And other than that, today we're going to talk about Polestar's price action, why maybe we could go ahead and fill the gap. And then we'll also take a look at a couple quick news that I saw come out yesterday, end of yesterday, today. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video. So let's just talk about the price action. We actually opened at 567, ran up about 10 cents, not a big range, but for the most part, 40 cents is going to be a big percent down around these price levels. But I don't think that we are done selling off, unfortunately, but I would see this as a great opportunity. I know a lot of people are getting frustrated, but I think this is getting me excited for, potentially adding some more shares. Just got to be patient with it. So let me go ahead and first give you guys some great news, and then I'll kind of back this up with an interview that I found. It's going to be a little older, but Polestar retweeted this out today. We're on track for a very lightning holiday season. 45,000 deliveries done and full speed ahead with the rest check marked. Just checking boxes off the list, checking everything off. And this is actually coming from our CEO Thomas. Many posts from happy customers about their Polestar 2 delivery this week on SoMe. Not exactly sure what this is. Might be an app that tracks numbers or feedback or something. And photos of our trucks getting the cars out. Over 45,000 delivered now, and last 3 weeks with full speed will do the remaining job. And you can obviously see that emoji that's got the target. So that is our 50K target. So very, very optimism news. Obviously it doesn't really reflect on the price, but I don't know. For me, I think it gets me excited because we've done some of the DD. We've seen some of the metrics and some of the numbers, and based off I know that December is going to be a bad month for the stock, but they did do the capital funding and just, having Volvo and stuff. So good stuff as far as the company fundamentals. And, easily if I had to bet on some startup, it'd definitely be Polestar. So being able to get some of these cheaper shares in the near future, I think is going to be a great opportunity for people. You got to think about, going from like $4 all the way to $8 is going to be 100%, right? So not many stocks are going to do that. Looking down 2 or 3 years from now, we could definitely be back up there easily, I think, in my opinion. We'll see. But that'd be a huge move if we do end up coming lower, and I take advantage of that. So let me show you guys just a quick interview that I pulled up. This is coming from after the Polestar 3 review, and I've actually already loaded it up, so it should work. Let me go ahead and click play, and hopefully it works.
Joining us with more, Thomas Ingenlath, Polestar CEO, and our very own auto correspondent, senior auto correspondent, I should say, Prod Subramanian. Good to see you both. Thomas, just take us through this quarter. What's your message and takeaways for investors?
Strong quarter. Main message for me is we're on track to deliver 50,000 cars this year.
Sorry, I wanted to stop really quick. I won't stop much more, but this article or interview was done before this tweet that came out yesterday, right? So this is just going to show you guys the confidence that the company has going into delivering, actually executing, right? So this was done, let's see, I think like last month, and Thomas was basically just confirming and being real confident about numbers and sales and demand. And then, yesterday or today, you get that tweet, and, vehicles are actually being done and being delivered and stuff. So just wanted to highlight that, right? So let me rewind just a bit so you guys can get that confidence again.
We're on track to deliver 50,000 cars this year. So the cars are produced, they're on the way to the customers, and we are cruising to the end of the year, delivering these cars, having that happy end.
So Thomas, 50,000 cars is a big deal in 1 year. And how do you think you guys are able to do that, given the fact that other of your rivals have been having problems scaling up right now, and you guys are able to actually cut operating costs too?
Well, we always said, and now that is becoming a reality, of course, being a startup that is backed up by Volvo makes a difference. We can work with very experienced production. We can work with very, very established and experienced logistics. Help us, for example, now to get these cars in a couple of weeks, delivering 20,000 cars. I mean, who could do that if you would not have that backbone?
And who are the main customers? Who, as you learn?
All right, so that's an old article or interview, so I don't want to cover it too much, but that was a good question that he asked. And like I was saying earlier, like in a very tough economy, if I had to put some money on a startup and stuff out of like Lucid, Rivian, some of these other startups, EVs, other than Tesla, of course, that's a legacy now, right? It's a pretty confident company. But if I had to put my money on one of these startups, some of the numbers and just, whatever, how do you call it? Deliveries and stuff, basically fundamentals and back in from Volvo and stuff. Out of those three, the ones that are actually getting stuff done are going to be Polestar. So if I had to put money on one of these three or some of the other smaller ones like Fisker or Mullen and stuff, I think, in my opinion, easily Polestar. And if you guys notice, I think the price was trading up higher. And now we're actually going to get it a little cheaper. I think we're just under 5, or not under 5, but closer to 5 range. And back then it was like trading around 6, I think. And so now we're basically getting it cheaper. There's more like validation as far as like a company and just delivering and being able to get those targets. And we're getting a little bit cheaper. So I do want to share with that. I think there was one more other question that they asked, but I don't really care too much. So they asked about the 50,000 deal, and they're pretty confident about and how everything became a reality. And then they were asking about customers. I won't cover that too much. And then everything else was just about the Polestar 3. So that's really the only thing I wanted to just kind of validate, that those numbers were basically told to us, back in November. And then Thomas had enough confidence back then to tell us, hey, we're going to get this done. And then recently they just delivered those numbers, or getting close to, hopefully. So that's great. That's very optimism. Next on the chopping block here is another tweet. We got Polestar actually dropping the second Cake Maca Polestar edition. The first one sold out instantly, so skates are on, or the ice is on. This is just like an electric scooter. So if you guys haven't known or kept up with some of their news, Polestar and Cake have teamed up to make a super flexible electric scooter. Don't really care too much about this one, but it's just press and news that we can definitely just keep up with. So the new Polestar livery Mac is the first model from Cake to be available in the US. It's finished in the color Polestar Sky Blue, which is like that, I guess, the Precept color. Also, it looks very similar to it, at least. Also comes equipped with Sleety Sport headlights and rear suspension from Ohms, which these guys make some of the other suspension for the Polestar 2. So just continuing to build relationships there. It's going to be about $5,300 at retail price. So it's a little expensive for a scooter, but it's not going to be as expensive as a Polestar 2. Here's just some of the features. 28 miles per hour, pretty slow, but for a scooter, it's fast. The Mope won't be winning any speed contest, but it's plenty brisk enough to commute in the city. That's exactly right. So I don't know if I told you guys a while ago, but I went to Washington, D.C., and there were a lot of scooters and stuff. So there's definitely a market, surprisingly, and maybe they can get just some brand exposure there. And then I'm not sure who Cake is. Honestly, I don't follow the scooter stuff. But it looks like they can go up to about 31 miles. I'm guessing it says top 28 miles per hour, but it could go about 31 miles. So it looks like this is the range. So 28 miles per hour. So 31 miles range possibly is what it's looking like. Anyway, this is very minimal news. It's just going to be just additional news. One other thing I wanted to quickly cover is this Redwood Materials joins the electric vehicle market, the battery sector. They're basically going to be building a manufacturing out in South Carolina, I believe. They're going to build it 3.5 battery materials campus in Richfield, which is about 30 miles northwest of Charleston. And so if you guys don't know, we are going to be having one of these P3s, P4s possibly, being built out in the US. And so Redwoods is actually located just in between Volvo and Polestar's plantation or plant. So they're going to be able to possibly get some materials from these guys. And the good thing about this is right now we're paying a lot, an arm and a leg, for like materials, whether it's like lithium or whatever, any of the battery materials that, you know, we have, nickel, cobalt, all these different things. And if there's more competitors out there, if there's more people in this market, then that's going to help push up demand, or supply, I'm sorry, and then that the demand should stay about the same, or maybe, I mean, come down. I'm not sure how the demand will work with EV markets still growing huge, but at least getting more supply is definitely going to help suppress some of those rising prices and material cost. And also, this is also going to be close to Polestar, so that's definitely going to help them having a plant, a battery plant nearby and stuff. So the Richfield facility is expected to supply materials to Ford, SK on Kentucky, Toyota Motor in North Carolina, and then Volvo and Envision in South Carolina. So obviously it doesn't say Polestar here, but Volvo being the parent will probably definitely benefit Polestar as well. So I just wanted to quickly add that in here because they are going to be building this out, and that hopefully can help suppress some of the material costs for some of these materials, and just yeah, help with demand and supply. So let's go ahead and take a look at the charts. I don't have a chart pulled up, so we're gonna have to look at that really quick. We did talk about it yesterday, and we were talking about potentially today being a big day, not because of Powell, but just because of some of the technicals and stuff. And you can see yesterday we actually marked some of these things out. So we had an ascending support that we charted out here, and we're talking about this ascending support and this downtrend resistance, and we had crossed above it, but now we had to retest this ascending support, and we actually failed to hold this level. So now you're starting to see that result, and we're coming down a little bit. So at this point, and we also did talk about the bearish momentum and the crossover and the MACD. So I'm not exactly sure which time frame I put that on there, but it was probably on the 1 hour. Yeah, because on the 1 hour we did a crossover here and then bearish momentum. So just a lot of bearish indicators yesterday, and that's some of the stuff we talked about. And here's the trend line that we were talking about yesterday. So we basically broke this trend line here, and as you can see, it looks like the next step is going to be the lower part of $5, so about $5.10, $5.12. But being optimistic, we could bounce off of that, hold that level for a while, and then after that we'll probably be filling the gap here. And the main reason we're going to be bearish is not just because of the technicals, but also if you guys were tuning into the live stream, we were talking about the 180 share lockup expiration and stuff. So if that's all true, then by the end of December, some people will have access to sell their shares. And you got to realize that some people bought this, like maybe like got shares as an employee or whoever gets lockup rights after that. I mean, I'm sure they probably got this a lot cheaper than $5. So some people are going to want to take profits and stuff. And so I would be expecting some continuation going into next week. Possibly, we'll definitely retest 512, I think, and then we'll probably refill the gap. So we're looking our target at like 470 now. Hopefully we don't come down to $4, but I do think 470 is going to be in the cards. And then I will definitely be looking to see if we get around this range, I'll definitely be considering some shares. Because you got to realize if we do bounce off here, then it's a very easy 40%, 30% gain right back up to $5, which is going to be a pretty average price for a lot of people. And so, I mean, I watch this price every day. I know some people might get frustrated on it, but I think it should be nice. I'm just trying to be optimistic here because I am excited to be able to pick up some shares here, but just got to be patient with that. So let me know what you guys think. Short term, I am going to be bearish. So Please don't dislike the video. I do like the stock. I think fundamentally it's one of the better startup companies other than Lucid and Rivian and Fisker and some of these other ones. And the numbers speak for themselves. So sometimes you just got to ignore the price and just base yourself on fundamentals and who is like a parent for it, or who's backing up that company, right? And like I said, they did raise cash, so I'm feeling pretty confident for at least another year of operation, and hopefully that can change optimism in investors, and we can go from there. So I think that's all I'm gonna have for today's video. If you guys have any questions, definitely put them in the chat or in the comments later, and appreciate you guys. I think that's all I have, guys. You guys enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm gonna do a live stream later, possibly later tonight on some other stocks, so definitely tune in for that. And if you guys don't mind, hit the like video for me, and subscribe. I only have like 25% of you guys subscribe to the channel, and it does help out my channel a lot. So just quick recap. Price targets is like $5 for sure, because we have that wick here, the low here, previous low. So after breaking this trend and having this downtrend still, that's most likely going to be in the books. And not to mention that Fed Powell was, for the most part, pretty bearish for the economy going into next year. So not a lot of optimism. And then also remember the share lockup and stuff. So people will probably be exiting some shares. But fundamentally, I think everything's good. So I will be definitely looking at this range here to see if I can get some more shares added there. And I think that's it. There's nothing else on the short term here. Yeah. Oh, well, there's one other thing I kind of picked up on. This could possibly be a head and shoulders pattern. It's like, oh, super weird head and shoulders. It's like right here. Let me pull it up. I can't get my tool. So we got like a small shoulder and another head, and then the shoulder. So this somewhat looks like a head and shoulders, but it's, I don't know, I'm being like very pessimistic here if that is a head and shoulders. And it doesn't really, it wouldn't make sense, because if it was a head and shoulders, then it would possibly, you know, that would mean that the breakdown would possibly be all the way back down to like possibly like $3. But just something to consider. Definitely a possibility, but I want to see if we can hold this 470 level here, and that's where I'm going to start definitely being patient and considering getting some shares. What's up, Jonah? Hey, thank you, G. No problem, man. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Yeah, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. Just definitely want to emphasize the share lockup. If that's stuff, you guys will have to look into it, but if that's true, then definitely expect some more downside. But it's crazy. I mean, we're looking at Lucid, it's like down to $7 now, and we've basically been bearish on this one for a while, and it's hard not to be bearish when they only have like 7,000 vehicles delivered a year, whereas Polestar is already doing 50,000. I just give you guys the update, about 45,000 for this year, not including any numbers they did in the previous 2 years. So actually, I've already told you guys, I think they've already hit 100,000 vehicles delivered. So it's good to see the numbers being there and deliveries, and it's good to be ambitious. And hopefully they can control their cash burn and everything, all of that. So I think that's about all I have for you guys. So you guys take care, be safe in the market. See you guys in the next one. Thank you guys for tuning in. Shout out to Jonah. I appreciate you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.